Hey sis, are you trying to love someone right now? And what's making it hard is that it's kind of feeling one sided. It's like lopsided. Like you've been showing patience, you've been giving grace, you're trying to respond with love, but now it feels like you're the only one pouring something in. They're not giving you nothing back. Yep. And you're getting tired. Something inside of you is saying, I'm tired. I'm tired. So now it's like you're sitting here wondering, it's making you even question, am I being Christ like? Or am I losing myself? Let's talk about it, sis. Cause the thing is that you wanna be patient. It's not like you don't wanna be. You want to be patient. You want to be understanding. You want to respond with grace too. Yeah. But it's like after a while, you just start to feel tired. You're just tired of it. And it just leaves you. It's like, I'm trying to live like Christ. I'm trying to love like Christ, but this is a bit much. This is just too much. And I get it. Yeah. Because the thing is that loving like Christ, it's not always easy. No, it's not easy all the time. I mean, it's easy to love when we feel good, when we feel appreciated, when things are being reciprocated. It's like when they give back what you're giving, it feels good then. It's easy to do it. But what about when it's not being returned? What about if you're always honest and they're deceptive? What about if you're always kind and they got attitudes? Or they're evil or mean? Yeah. What if you always lift people up, but they want to bring you down? hmm What about even when you're misunderstood? They don't even understand you. Or you put in all this effort, but they don't return it. When the whole situation feels lopsided or just one-sided. Yep. And actually, that's where love gets tested. Facts. Yes. Because loving like Christ is not just about, so loving like Christ is not just about how you feel. Yep. It's about how you show up in the midst of it. Yep. And one of the biggest parts of love is patience. And that could be a doozy. That patience piece. Yep. Because it's not just waiting, but being willing to sit in the not yet. Yeah. Not just waiting, but being willing to sit in the not yet. Yep. Or not being understood yet. Not yet seeing the change. Or not yet seeing things come all together. Yep. And that kind of patience right there, boy, that can feel heavy. Okay? Heavy. Because what it does is it requires you to stay grounded. And even when your emotions are like shifting. Yep. But here's something important to understand. loving like Christ doesn't mean like tolerating everything, though. Let's kind of make sure we separate that out. Just because you love like Christ don't mean you're going to tolerate everything. And I think some people get that twisted because they think because you are that type of person, loving, kind, gentle, that they just keep pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing, and you're not going to do anything, or you'll just let people walk over you. But that's not how this works. Loving like Christ does not mean tolerating everything. Yep. It doesn't mean ignoring your feelings either, because you're allowed to feel what you feel. Okay. It definitely doesn't mean allowing yourself to be just mistreated. Definitely. It does not mean that. Okay. I want to make sure I get that out there. It does not mean that you let yourself be mistreated. Yep. Love can be patient and still have boundaries. Mm-hmm. Yep. Love can be kind but still be honest. I'm gonna be nice about it, but I'm still gonna tell you how I feel. We not gonna just slide over stuff, and I'm just gonna key and he and forget about what you did, or you did something that was offensive, and I'm not gonna say anything. No, that's not how this works. I'm gonna be kind about it, and I'm gonna be respectful, but I am gonna be honest, so we can be honest, okay? Um, but also, love can give grace, but you give grace without losing yourself. You don't give grace to the point where you done just lost your whole self and just okay, yeah, okay, yep, I understand. I'm loving like God. No, there has to be a balance. I'm gonna give you grace, but I'm not gonna lose myself in the process of it either. I'm not gonna, be a fool either. But I am gonna give you some grace to a certain extent. And even when you sometimes you give grace and you forgive and things like that, but that don't mean you always have to still be there to do that either in that situation. Like I said, you don't want to lose yourself in the process, and so doing that, that's like a fine balance there. And so the Bible talks in Ephesians 5, it talks about like loving in a way that reflects Christ's love, the way Christ loved. And that love is like intentional, sacrificial, and rooted in truth. Yeah, rooted in truth. Again, I'm going to tell you how I truly feel. I'm going to be graceful, I'm going to be respectful, but I am going to say the truth. Okay? And that kind of love, basically, that Ephesians 5 type of love, it requires strength. Yeah, you need some strength for this because it's you have all these different trials and tribulations, and sometimes it's hard. But we're supposed to, love like Christ loved. And like I said, it requires strength, not just emotional strength though. Also, like you have to be kind of spiritually grounded. It helps you to be grounded spiritually. And that is super important. Like for me, my spiritual grounding, if I don't have solitude and spiritual grounding, then I could just be all over the place. So that is super important, making sure you're grounded in your word too, because think about it, people around you, they can say all kind of stuff, and if you're not careful, you have to be careful what's in your ear and who's in your ear, because if you're not careful and if you don't go back to what does the Bible say about that, what does the word say about that, because people will have you all over the place if you let them. But always go back to what is biblically sound. What does the Bible say about that? Love your enemies. Pray for those who spitefully use you. You know, we still supposed to be generous um to the unlovable. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. We're supposed to give grace. We're supposed to have forgiveness, but also not be walked over either. Like, God is near the brokenhearted. So you just all the little, different things that you may go through, you always be grounded. And then when people are in your ear or telling you how, like, things about your kids or whatever. What does the Bible say about that? The Bible says, train up a child in a way he should go, and he will not depart from it when he gets older, or something to that effect. So you do your job, and then he'll do the kid, like, because he's grounded or she's grounded in that, they're not going to depart from that. Okay? Go with what the word says. And that's always going to lead you in the right way. Also, know that you can't pour out patience, grace, and love if you are running on empty. That's why it's important to fill yourself up and have your own solitude. For me, I have to have peace, because when I have peace, that's where I get clarity. That's where I can get the messages to bring you. That's why I'm asking God, Lord, help me to bring what they need to hear. Lord, less of me, more of you. Not my will, but yours be done. I'm always asking for guidance and for protection and for knowledge and for wisdom. Not my will, but yours be done. Because, if we think about our own selves and our own will, we'll be doing all kind of stuff, or saying anything to people, putting people down. Sometimes people say malicious things. They don't think twice about it. But no, we have to be careful with how we are. And so that's why, in order for me to pour and give love and be love, and pour out and breathe life into you and anybody else that I come in contact with, I have to fill my cup with love, with patience, and breathe life into myself and stuff like that. Okay. So if you've been feeling tired, and if loving others has started to feel heavy for you, or if you've been trying to do the right thing constantly and you feel like it's lopsided, just pause for a moment, okay? And just check in with yourself to see, like, hey, where am I today? How do I feel today? Have I loved on myself? Have I filled my love cup before I'm trying to fill somebody else's? So just check in with yourself and ask yourself, are you loving from a full place? Or are you trying to give what you haven't even had time to restore? Okay, sis or brother, whoever's watching. So you just want to make sure that you have filled your love tank up. So you have something to give, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot. It's not going to happen. Okay. Because guess what? Even Christ stepped away. He rested and he refilled. So if he's doing it, darn well we need to do it, right? And you're allowed to do the same thing, okay? So yes, 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 yes. Love deeply, but be patient and show some grace. Okay? And please, if you don't do anything else, don't forget to take care of your heart. Yep. Because out of your heart, the issues, everything flows out of your heart. So don't forget to take care of that. And the way you love others should not come at the cost of losing yourself. Yes, let me tell you that again. The way you love others should not come at the cost of losing yourself. Yep. And listen, if you don't know where to start, you can start with this little short prayer that I'll give you. I wrote it down here. You could say something like, Lord, teach me how to love like you, but also teach me how to stay while doing it. Lord, teach me to love like you, but also teach me how to stay while doing it. In other words, Lord, help me to teach to love like you, but help me to keep myself in the process of doing it and not lose myself. Okay? So that's where healthy love is going to begin. Also, please let me know in the comments if you've ever felt like loving others have felt like heavy or hard, and what part of this message spoke to you the most. Also, give me if the message did help you in some type of way, give me a thumbs up. Also, like and subscribe. Okay, if this message helped you or lifted you up or gave you some insight or clarity, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. My name's Melinda. I'm a registered nurse, a life coach, and a mentor. And on our channel, we focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. And I'm always looking at information and research and what psychologists say and things like that to help us elevate in our lives and help us to utilize tools. So if that's something that you're interested in, increasing your faith, healing, emotional wellness, how to kind of respond to things, relationship wise, emotionally wise, just different topics, grief. It's a wide variety of topics that I cover, but mainly it focuses all back to faith, healing, and emotional wellness. All right. And as always, again, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. Wishing you have a great day today. I hope this blessed you. Bye.